Ashley Babbitt is a fucking traitor, insurrectionist, and a MAGA fuckface ass clown, and I am absolutely dismayed that the biggest joke in the military, the U.S. chair farce, is giving her full military honors. What's up, fam of liberty?
Also, a quick shout out to Bex from OnlyFans.
And also, everyone else who's watching this video who isn't following our channel for some unknown, unfathomable reason. It's your boy Big Sarge, the artist formerly known as Admin Tim, founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization, which has been steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns and reclaiming patriotism since 2015. And more recently, I've also pissed off a bunch of leftists who thought that I was just going to ignore their bullshit. If you saw us out in the streets for the first time or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way, despite the fact that my fucking shirt pretty much spells it out for you. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck GOP politicians, fuck establishment Democrats that aren't out there in these streets fighting for us tooth and nail, and also fuck billionaires, fucking wealth hoarders that have their fucking boots on the fucking necks of just about every American citizen. I also say fuck a lot. I also like to fuck a lot, but that's beside the point. Neither this channel nor its comments sections are a safe space for you bootlicking simps for a Russian asset, convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, wish.com, fascist oligarch, failed insurrectionist, wannabe authoritarian tyrant, wannabe dictator, self-confessed lover of very young girls, and a guy who was friends for over a decade with a convicted pedophile. And now, you know where I stand on things. So if you are still here and you're not frantically rage typing into the comments box like a trigger conservative snowflake who's asked man about liberal combat veteran who burned a flag in protest, but you didn't have shit to say about the MAGA traitor waving a Confederate flag in our fucking Capitol, and you didn't have fuck all to say about the January 6th insurrectionist beating the shit out of a cop with a flag on a flagpole, then maybe consider following this channel after you watch this video and decide whether or not you like the cut of my jib. And to be honest with you, the shit that I'm going to say today, if you don't like the cut of my jib on this video, fuck you. Because what you're saying to me is, I like fascism and make fascists afraid again and also fuck fascists. Not literally, none of you fascist bootlickers deserve to ever have a fucking orgasm ever again. I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it, is a phrase which is commonly attributed to philosopher Voltaire, but was actually written by Voltaire's biographer, Evelyn Beatrice Hall, in her 1906 book, The Friends of Voltaire, which she wrote under the pseudonym S.G. Tallentire. Quote summarizes Voltaire's philosophical support for freedom of speech and the importance of protecting even ideas that one finds objectionable. Right now, my news feed is cluttered with angry, pissed off vet bro vet flakes who forgot the fucking oath that they swore when they volunteered to serve their country. These same hyper-pro Second Amendment neckbeards are out there talking about, I support the Constitution, but forget that burning the American flag was found twice to be protected free speech. Who found that? The Supreme Court of the United States. In 1984, a protester named Gregory Lee Johnston burned an American flag during a demonstration outside the Republican National Convention. He was convicted under Texas law for desecrating the flag. The case ultimately reached the Supreme Court, which in 1989 ruled in a 5-4 decision that flag burning was a form of expressive conduct that was protected by the First Amendment. In response to the Texas v. Johnson decision, Congress then passed the Flag Protection Act of 1989, attempting to make flag burning a federal crime. However, the Supreme Court, which at that time actually stood up to fucking idiots, struck down this law as well, reaffirming its previous decision that flag burning is protected speech. Now, I realize that we're in an unprecedented constitutional crisis right now where almost every single Republican and conservative is firmly licking the boots and tonguing the bung of fascism, authoritarianism, and the Supreme Court rubber stamps anything that Trump does, even though it says, no, Joe Biden, you may not. But until the Supreme Court overturns those multiple decisions, burning the flag is protected by the First Amendment, and you don't gotta like it, but you do gotta lump it. Look, I get it. We don't want to see the flag burn. Blah, 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 fought for this flag, blah, 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 people died for this flag. Arguably, not many people actually died for the flag. There are people who defended that flag, such as William H. Carney during the American Civil War, a black soldier who saw the flag fall and picked it up and carried it into battle and recovered it on his way out after being shot like 30 fucking times. This was partially recreated in the movie Glory, and I've talked about this in previous videos to include Confederate Heritage Month and Black History Month. But I digress. We don't want to see the flag burn. It's disrespectful or whatever, but you don't get to complain about that, and kneeling, by the way, if you're a bootlicking simp for a fascist regime. Me personally, I would never burn a flag. Just like I would personally never have an abortion because I could never have an abortion. So I'm not gonna. But what works for me and my personal beliefs don't necessarily apply to other people and should not apply to other people. Something that the Christian evangelical nationalists seem to forget when they try to shovel their religious beliefs into the minds of people that write our nation's laws that those people frequently ignore because rules for thee but not for me. Anyway, for all you triggered vet flakes out there talking about supporting the Constitution, but you turn around and bitch about a combat veteran burning the flag in protest because some rich oligarch said that he couldn't. And to be honest with you, the second that Trump says, oh, you can't do that, I'm going to fucking go out and do it anyway because fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. You orange draft dodging fuck. Anyway, if you're getting mad because the orange guy said he couldn't do this, then maybe sit this one out, champ. It's weird how you cherry pick the amendments that you support and when you support them. But that's not as wild as when you choose to remember that you swore an oath. This same oath, in spirit and intent that our forefathers have been swearing since the oath was first adopted in 1789. I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, etc., etc., etc. You remember that oath? Some of y'all forgot, and some of y'all are still wearing the uniform, so miss me with your bullshit. Speaking of oaths, you notice how it says to defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic? You know who's an enemy of freedom? Fascists, authoritarians, Nazis. We literally fought a whole fucking war that some of y'all like to claim we won by ourselves. Narrator. We did not. It was called World War II, and we literally fought fascists and Nazis. Now, a lot of y'all claim your grandfathers and great-grandfathers fought in WW2, and I bet a lot of them would be rolling in their graves to reach around and slap the taste out your goddamn mouth for simping for fascism. Anyway, my oath didn't expire with a DD-214, so I'm going to be blunt with y'all. And y'all can try and comfort me in the comments, ignorant of the fact that I will straight up butt fuck your soul, and y'all can shit it up, talking about, oh, Big Sarge, you're advocating violence. But y'all can keep on clutching the pearl necklace that I gave your mom because I straight don't give a fuck. My oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to bear true faith and allegiance to the same did not expire with a DD-214 blanket of freedom. I am less concerned about flag burning than I am about fascist burning. Yeah, that's right, I said it. When fascism takes root and becomes the law of the land, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. You don't fight fascism with protests. That's fucking stupid. You don't vote fascism out of office. You don't shame it into calming the fuck down. You kill it with fire, like the Imperium of Mankind says. Burn the heretic. And make no motherfucking mistake, fam. Fascism is heresy. Fascism and Nazism are inherently evil. There is no version of it that is not. These concepts are the enemy of freedom, and they're historically the enemy of the United States. Fascism is a far-right, authoritarian political ideology characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and the economy, often putting emphasis on aggressive nationalism and the mythical concept of the national rebirth. Make America Great Again? Sound familiar? And it typically involves a single-party state under a totalitarian leader who claims to embody the national will. I literally just saw a thing that said Stephen Miller wants to brand the Democratic Party as terrorism and have it forcibly disbanded. So there's your single party, and you've literally got Trump getting in front of the whole ass world on camera saying, many people are saying they prefer a dictator. No, motherfucker, we don't. And if you declare yourself a dictator, then my sworn and sacred obligation, my oath that I gave at the age of 18, is to burn the heretic. Plain and fucking simple, point blank. No kings, no dictators. We've been king-free since 1776, and motherfucker, if you test me, and if you test my brothers, we will not be merciful. I've studied the American Civil War extensively. There are countless examples from both Confederate and Unionist authors, and the vast majority of them made it explicitly clear that they understood secession was treason. This is not open for debate. And yet, in the aftermath of the war, we paid millions of dollars to rebuild what was destroyed by the Union and Confederate forces. We forgave, and in return, we got Jim Crow and more racism for over 100 years. We got motherfuckers walking around with their participation trophy, their second place runner-up award for an ass-kicking contest, a war that they started and lost. The second time around, it ain't gonna go the same. After World War II, the Allies initiated a denazification program in Germany to remove fascist and Nazi ideology and its supporters, which is why tons of Nazis fled to Argentina. Part of that denazification was removing those who had been Nazi Party or SS members from positions of power and influence by disbanding or rendering impotent the organizations that were associated with Nazism. The analogy here is MAGA. And if you're a MAGA fuckface ass clowns who's upsetty spaghetti that I equate MAGA with Nazis, admin Tim316 says get fucked and die mad about it. Hashtag not sorry, not sorry. If it comes to a second civil war in this country, and to be clear, we fight so that we don't have to, but when fascism becomes the law of the land, all your voting and your protesting isn't going to do shit. The only thing that works is warfare and fuck shit. And if it comes down to it, we'll burn the whole fucking thing down and start over. And rest assured, friends and family, fascist collaborators don't get a seat at that table. So you want to fuck around and find out, just remember, fascism is not a natural state. It is an unnatural state against the order of things, and fascism never survives for very long. Eventually it topples. Your opportunity to reject fascism is right now. Choose wisely. And for all you liberals and progressives and leftists who cling to the notion that you can just make a cute little sign and go out there and shout and clap along with the people wielding the megaphones, I got something for you too. You are naive as fuck if you believe that the fascist authoritarian regime that is presently using masked, plainclothes people, some of whom aren't even trained law enforcement officers, to kidnap people off the streets, ship them to taxpayer-funded concentration camps, and then deport them into slavery. The same fascist authoritarian regime that is currently occupying the Capitol with military troops. If you believe, you're naive as a motherfucker if you think that they're going to allow you to vote them out of power. And the fact that this has to be explicitly spelled out for some of you grown-ass adults who need to be shocked back into reality is indicative of how many of y'all are blindsided by the whitewashed history of the struggle for civil rights and equality in this country. Some of y'all still cling to the log floating in denial about the reality of fascism. The only way to get rid of fascism is through bloodshed. Not sorry, not sorry. Your great ass motherfucking great grandfathers back in the 1760s and 1770s knew this fundamental truth deep down under their powdered wig and super tight knickerbocker pants. You're going to need to go look that up because I did not just say what you might have thought I said. That is my time for today. Big Sarge out here. 2 claps and a rick. Make fascists afraid again. Woo!
And now it's time for the throw punch!
Now, I know that I led off today's video with a quote about Voltaire, and I know that there's some purity absolutist in my comments that are going to hem and haw and be like, well, Voltaire was also a racist and a homophobe. I got something for you motherfuckers too, since I'm on a kick of pissing off leftists too. Yes, Voltaire was a racist, a misogynist, and a homophobe. He wrote immense screeds of anti-Semitic bullshit. He was generally an asshole in his personal life. Nevertheless, he was a brilliant writer, an intelligent thinker, and a major influence on the intellectual and cultural life of Europe after him. Both of these people are Voltaire. Enjoying one aspect of him doesn't implicate you in the other aspect. It just calls for you to be open about the fact, always, that both of these people were Voltaire and that we have the responsibility to read Voltaire in light of this fact and not be seduced wholesale by him. And that's going to be an outtake. Ain't nobody got time for Big Sarge's philosophical bullshit outtake on the Enlightenment.